All right, Algebra 1, Chapter 1, Section 2, Order of Operations. In the last section, we talked about what the parts of an algebraic expression were and how to translate them between words and expressions to words, so moving them back and forth. What we're going to talk about now is what we do now that we have these expressions, and that is mainly to evaluate them. And that's just the process and way we find what the value of the complete expression is. Now, if it's a numerical expression where there's no variables in it, it's not too bad. That's like example 1 here. It's got 3 to the power of 5, or 3 to the 5th. That means 3 is being multiplied by itself 5 times. That's 3 of them, that's 4 of them, that's 5 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, all I have to do here is just take my time. If you got a calculator, you can just hit those buttons in real quick. You just got to make sure that you're counting correctly. If you checked out one of the calculators for me, you can actually type in the 3 to the 5th by just, there's a button that looks like a caret that's pointing up, and you do that. But when you're first getting started here, I don't want you to be dependent upon that too much, though it can help you if you're in a bind. And later on, I'm just going to assume that you do that in more complex problems. But right now, we're doing it pretty basic. So all you have to do really is take your time on it. And what I like to do is I like to break it down into parts that I can handle. 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times 3 is also 9. And this times 3 down here, I'm just going to leave it alone. So you can see I've combined those factors together to reduce how much I'm going to multiply down. 9 times 9 is 81, and then I'm going to multiply that by 3. And at this point, you might have to pull out a calculator to do it, or if you're going to do it old school, 81 times 3. 3 times 1 is 3. 3 times 8 is 24, so you get 243. All right, so it's your choice, kind of like when you get to that part where it starts to get a little bit bigger. I would say if you are really confident in your multiplication skills, and you can do it in your head quickly, do that. If you have to use a calculator because you're not as confident, do that. If you have to pull out a multiplication chart to do these things, pull out a multiplication chart. I actually, I basically got one of those things memorized in my head, right? That's why I can do all these calculations so fast. Honestly, the reason why teachers always seem like they can do these things faster than anyone else is because we've done these things a million times when you've only done them 100 times. And that's the difference. But whatever level you're at, use the tools at your disposal. You're going to want to not be completely dependent upon your calculator because sometimes you won't be allowed them on certain tests. But other times, they're fine to use them. Like all of my tests, you can use calculators on them. I got no problem with that. But you have to think, if you've got the time to really practice it and make sure that you can do this old school kind of multiplication here, make sure that you can do it. All right, so that's a numeric expression. And I'm going to stop the video there, and then we're going to talk about the order of operations and then go on to the next examples.